tuning, no capo, and the classic test of your Travis picking. If you've never done this pattern before, I have a step-by-step breakdown linked below to get you started. But if you want to jump right in, the tabs are going to be up on the screen for this tutorial. We're going to cover the intro, verse, chorus, and bridge with a full playthrough at the end. So let's go ahead and get started with the intro. Now, if you notice, there's actually an interesting rhythmic trick that's happening here in the intro. Our chords rotate after every 8 beats, so we have our C and our A minor going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we repeat. Our lead, however, rotates every 6 beats. So our lead is this. And it, again, rotates every 6 beats. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And because 6, of course, does not evenly divide into 8, it creates a really interesting layering of the two parts where they end up rotating at a different cadence. And if you try and think about both at the same time, your brain will probably short circuit and force you to play something that's incorrect. Bar 3 is actually a perfect example of this. You might unknowingly play a standard A minor 7. We're in the key of C, so it will seem natural, but it's actually incorrect. We want to be playing an A sus chord, at least at this point in the intro in bar 3. So to fix this, you have to put the general chord progression on autopilot and let the muscle memory handle the chords. And you want to shift 100% of your mental focus to that lead, because that's where it's going to feel maybe a little off. Doing this will help you evolve correctly from one left-handed position to the next without getting confused. So that mental shift of focusing on just the lead is going to be the secret to nailing that rotating cadence that occurs between those two layers. The verse fortunately removes any kind of funky layering and goes back to everything staying consistent with each other and no weird cadences. And both lines of the verse are basically the same with the exception of our double stop walk-up that we do at the end of the first line, or bar 12. So once you learn the first line, you basically have the second one down as well. But keep an eye out for bars 11 and 15. Up until this point, your finger assignments have been locked in. Your thumb's been handling the bass strings, 4, 5, and 6, and your fingers have been taking the top 3 strings. But when we go to that D minor, we run into a little bit of a collision because the D minor is only a 4-string chord. If your thumb is to alternate between the two bass strings, strings 4 and 3, you can see that our pointer finger is going to have a problem with that. So what you're going to do is let your thumb step down and hijack the G string here and temporarily fire your pointer finger. Your pointer finger is just going to be hanging out during this chord. The temptation might be to do the opposite, where you just keep everyone where they are and have the thumb pluck only the 4th string. And when it would go up to the 3rd string, you might just play with your pointer finger instead. But if you want to be true to the Travis picking pattern, the thumb comes in and takes priority. Some songs might have the thumb go down to the 5th string and play this string instead. So you'd have the 4th and the 5th string. But that's just going to be song dependent. In this song, we're going to jump down to the 3rd string and replace the pointer finger for those alternating bass notes. A few different options for playing this to consider. I prefer playing this D over F sharp with my left thumb grabbing the bass note here. I find that it just results in a lot less hand movement while going through the progression. You certainly can play it with your pointer finger, but it just results in a little bit of a bigger jump with the left hand when we go back to the D over F sharp in bar 19. There we're coming from this A minor over G where our pinky is kind of going places it doesn't normally go. So I think you just might find that playing the D over F sharp with your thumb reduces some of the energy involved in transitioning from one chord to the next, and as a result, just ends up being a little bit more efficient. To do this, I just think is a little bit more work than doing this. The bridge chords look unique, but there is a very specific finger choreography that helps you avoid accidentally muting your strings that I like to use. So in bar 20, what you're going to do is you're going to start off using your index and ring finger. But in bar 21, you're going to switch to your index and pinky. Now, why are you going to do that? Because in bar 22, you can slide that same shape down 2 frets. And when you hit bar 23, using your pinky leaves your middle finger completely free to reach up and grab this 3rd fret of the B string. If you used your ring finger earlier, it's just going to be a little bit of a tighter, more awkward stretch, and you risk muting some of the adjacent notes that are ringing out. So again, using your pinky just, I think, frees up this reach a little bit more. I wouldn't suggest trying to bar it either, just because there's a lot of open strings going on up here, and we want those to be ringing out. If you just stick to this choreography that we've gone through, that final chord transition ends up just being a matter of lifting up your middle finger. That's all you got to do. So again, pointer, ring finger, pointer, pinky, slide that down 2 frets, put down your middle finger.